It's insane. Here now to discuss the crisis at our southern border and other stories making headlines from the Beltway today, Georgia Congressman Rick W. Congressman, welcome back to the program. How are you, sir?
Good to be with you, Dan. Thank you for having me.
Let's begin with immigration and the aliens invading our southern border. We're only 6 days away from this. What are you in Congress hearing about a potential stay? We know the judge ruled on this a few weeks back. Biden's regime's been fighting back against it. They want it to go away. There's Democrat support with Republicans, a bipartisan support, telling the Biden regime, do not let it expire. We need it. We can't handle 18,000 a day. Where does this stand right now?
Well, the Biden administration is not obeying the law or a mandate by a federal judge on the Remain in Mexico policy under the Trump administration. So, when you have an administration that's not obeying the law, that is the Department of Justice and their responsibility to bring them to task on this. And, as far as Secretary Mayorkas, who said last week that he has control of the border, I mean, I think that's perjury, if I'm not mistaken, lying to the United States Congress. So,
well, this regime lies every day to the American people, Rick.
I mean, it's unsustainable, and the American people should be up in arms everywhere about this. You cannot believe the impact that this is having on law enforcement throughout the country. I mean, I had all of our county sheriffs on the phone last Friday for a stakeholders call. Every one of them are having to deal with this in their communities. Yep. It is overwhelming what is happening to law enforcement and other people that have to deal with this throughout this country.
I spoke with officials in Yuma, Arizona not long ago. It's a place that we took our team last March, so over a year ago, when this whole thing started under Biden. It was about end of February, early March. And I spoke with them, I believe it was last week. And the charity organizations in Yuma, the churches, the city government, the local sheriff, all of them told me, and obviously the Border Patrol, they're all overwhelmed. They don't have the services, the beds, the room, the nothing. So they're just dumping these people on the streets of America. And it's not just in border town, folks. It's coming to a town near you. We've shown you the white planes and the white buses in the middle of the night, dumping them in Virginia, Tennessee, everywhere.
Yeah, we had a special conference last week dealing with the border. We had those who served in the Trump administrations and previous administrations who have been in charge of enforcement of that border. One of the things that really is concerning to me is because of the lack of enforcement and the lack of personnel to enforce, we don't have any, we're moving people from our northern border down to our southern border. And our northern border is now unprotected. And we have no idea who's coming into this country. And it's a real problem. It's a crisis.
Yeah, and now some viewers are going to yell at you and me, Rick, for saying, don't tell the terrorists and bad people where we're weak. We don't have to tell them. They know. They see it. They know we're weak, thanks to Joe Biden. Why do you think we're being told how many people on the terror watch list were flagged in the last year since he's been in? We know at least 14 of them. They stopped. That's the ones we know about. Anyway, I got to get to a couple other subjects with you. Yep, good, Rick.
Yeah, you got to add this in there. Fentanyl killed 100,000 young people in this country last year.
Trust me, Rick, we've covered that. It's affected my family personally. I take this personally.
Absolutely.
Okay? Joe Biden, you've killed thousands of Americans by allowing the border to be open. And I don't just mean through the drugs, but through the sex trafficking, because they'll get killed eventually. You name it, blood's on your hands, Biden regime. Anyway, let's move on, Rick, real quick, because I know there's one more important thing you want to talk about, and I want to get to this as well. The Employees' Rights Act. We've known for decades these big, powerful unions, and we saw it during COVID lockdown, how much power the teachers union has in this country. But these big unions, they take hardworking Americans' dues, and they spend them on their political beliefs, not the beliefs of the people. Because you might have a factory with 10,000 employees, half of them are liberal, half of them are conservative, maybe 10, 20% don't really care. But the leader of their union might care and decide to give all the money to the Biden re-election campaign in 24. You're trying to stop that.
Exactly. Well, 43% of union members voted for Republicans in the last election. And over 83% of political contributions from those unions go to Democratic political candidates. And, and guess what? These people have no say-so over where their dues are being contributed. But our bill corrects that. It corrects the election process. Your problem is this. The unions have a public relations problem, and it's called coercion. And the Democrats have a public relations problem. It's called coercion. They're trying to jam stuff down the American people's throats that the American people don't want. The workforce, the modern workforce is entrepreneurial. We have an amazing workforce. Look what we did just 4 years ago. I mean, the best economy in my lifetime, more jobs than people looking for jobs.
I know.
We were trying to get people off government assistance to go to work in the Democrats.
Trust me, Congressman, I know. And our viewers that watch OAN, they remember the good old days. It was just 2 years ago. Let me get you one more question because they're wrapping me up, and I just got to get your take on this because a lot of folks are going, yeah, I don't know. What's up with the investigation to UFOs? All right. Lots of folks are going, this is a little weird. I mean, they covered up Roswell for decades and we were told there was none. Now you guys are having hearings saying there's some. So we're scratching our head going, what the hell?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you this. There are just some things we don't know.
Okay. I'll let you leave it there.
There are just some things we don't know. I mean, we know it's a triangle. We know it. We don't know how it's powered. We haven't been able to communicate with it. But like I said, we didn't create this universe. God created this universe, and there's some things out there that probably God is dealing with that we don't know a thing about.
All right.
And in due time, he will let us know.
He will reveal all. You got it. Well, yeah. I'd like to know what the heck those things are. Rick Allen, representing Georgia's 12th. Thank you, sir, for coming on Real America and keeping it real.
Appreciate it.
Yep.